When you get the best shooters in the court together, it's a great way to compare and contrast all the little details of their mechanics to see how each player is unique in their form, and more importantly, to show you the things they all do the same way. Devin Booker put on a show last year and won the contest, but struggled this year, not making it out of the first round. Booker follows the ball with his eyes with a late head tilt, which might, and I stress might, affect his shooting with excess movement. He finds the ball with his eyes the latest of anybody in the contest, and I wonder if it's in response to a coach who tried to stop him from following it and now he's caught in the middle. Watch how Booker's wrist is in neutral until the ball is at shoulder height, and he does something interesting. Not only does the wrist begin to flex back here, it also pronates at the very end to get into proper position to shoot. You can see the hand and the ball rotate just before the release. And Booker's left thumb does not influence the ball, following the classic teaching of the jump shot. Both Dame and Booker have jump shots that are related to Lonzo Ball's. Notice how he brings it up the left side of his body before getting it to the midline. It was surprising to see this. And if I had to point to a reason why he hasn't gotten to 40% shooting in his career yet, including a career low this year, this would be it. Danny Green might have the funkiest mechanics of anybody in the contest, and I wonder if this has contributed to inconsistency in the macro sense. Incredibly elite for several seasons, but then a couple of average to below average percentages. The first thing to notice is how he doesn't straighten his elbow on the release. I find it hard to believe he can replicate this shot the same way. And you can also see how little his wrist flexes back, and how late it is. So he has to propel this shot using his arms as the primary source of power, considering how little he jumps. The follow-through actually reminds me a bit of Shawn Marion, believe it or not. Notice the position of his left thumb behind the ball and how it pushes it, and it's the left arm that straightens on release. This is some strange stuff, sports fans. Buddy Hield finished third overall, and it's nice to see him finding his groove as a player after finding a home in Sacramento. Buddy has a snap follow-through, one that has his arms straightened, but then it bends again right away. On the last shot of this rack, he smooths out the follow-through, and I like this better, but the snap clearly works for him. Buddy follows the ball after he releases it with a slight head tilt back, something coaches shouldn't be too concerned about at all. Here's a good shot of how Buddy turns his feet to his left for alignment, but also notice how the ball stays in the same vertical plane all the way through the shot, slightly to the right of the midline. This is the optimal way to shoot to ensure the ball stays straight. Buddy also bends his elbow way less than 90 degrees. The ball almost hits his head, and I'm sure is connected to the severe snap follow-through as he's trying to find more power from this elbow position. Buddy's left thumb also provides power, although notice how his left arm does not straighten all the way but comes close. And speaking of getting much closer, there is no better way to experience the NBA than by going to an actual game. And if you're not sure where you should get tickets, the answer is SeatGeek. They scour the internet for the best prices and let you know what kind of a deal you're getting. Tickets are fully guaranteed, get delivered to your phone, and they're not limited to just sports. You'll also save $20 off your first purchase by using my code BBall. With just a few taps on your phone, you can be at your team's next game. SeatGeek, let's go. It was Steph's turn, performing for his hometown, and he made it to a respectable second-place finish overall. First off, he follows the ball with his eyes with a bit of a head tilt to the left, but not back. Just a gentle lifting of the eye gaze to track the ball and provide feedback during the shot of his hip and elbow. Steph also quote-unquote overbends his elbow, bringing the ball up by his cheek, then in front of his eye before releasing. Check the floppy wrist snap, something that helps generate much of his power and ties into how loose and relaxed his shot is. The wrist snap and elbow straighten are synced perfectly and helps explain how he knows the ball is going in before it actually drops. Steph has a lot of left thumb influence, which gives him power, and notice how much turn he has, as his toes are pointing all the way to the left corner. While the left wrist pronates and thumb influences, his left arm does not straighten. The hand actually crosses over the right. His feet are narrow to start, then float almost together on the way down, something I recommend for all shooters. And don't overlook how Steph rotates in the air in a very relaxed, natural way to allow his body to not be overly rigid and controlling. Joe Harris was the most humble of all the players in the competition, just happy to be there, and outwardly had the most emotional calm, which is a key trait to have in this kind of competition. Notice how Harris gets his elbow angle locked in from the very start. Once that ball is in his hand, the elbow angle is not changing until the release. His rhythm is also in the two-motion family. His arms begin moving up at the same time as his legs begin to bend down. As a result, he relies more on his legs for power than guys like Steph and Dame. While most guys were in a hurry and didn't hold their follow-through, check how Harris smoothly holds it just long enough to ensure a perfect release. Harris also has a lot of left thumb influence in the shot, which again does not matter and isn't worth spending time trying to fix. And check his wide stance to begin, but once in the air, the feet flow much closer together before landing at the same time. Parallel, but with a nice turn. So there you have it, sports fans. There's a lot of things to learn from the best shooters in the world, and lots of things that fall under the guise of perfect shooting form that are essentially unnecessary. So, when you get on the court to work on your shot, or coach someone else with their shot, don't forget that things like offhand thumb and following the ball with your eyes are common amongst most of the best shooters of all time.
Oh, hey, good to see everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you made it this far, then I've got something really special for you. A free video that you can only get by clicking on the link below. It'll break down my 3 favorite actions, and I guarantee you'll love it. So what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side of that link. Don't forget to subscribe to BBallBreakdown and adjust your settings so you'll get notified right away. You in?